The 17th race of the 2025 NASMAR Community Cup Series season takes place on not only one of the biggest, but one of the toughest racetracks on the schedule. It's Pocono Raceway, the three-turn triangle nestled in the Pocono Mountains in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. Welcome everybody to Pocono Raceway. The summer stretch fully underway now as we get ready to take on the 2.5-mile triangle. For the second year in a row, the Pocono Party is back, and we are hanging out down on the all-new paddock in the infield here at Pocono Raceway. I'm Gavin Beers, joined by Electric Cup Series, Kobe Lavin, and MLCS Racing Network. It is going to be a great race today. There we are on the all-new paddock here at Pocono Raceway. It is awesome. Great look at the front stretch in pit road with the cars lined up. But guys, nearing the halfway point of the season, who do you have your eye on in the points? Who sticks out to you guys?
First of all, thank you so much for having us, Gavin. The first name I'm looking at is the last name on the graphic. That's Carson Hocevar in the Spire Machine. 68 points below the cut line. With regular season races coming to an end, it's going to be a must-win territory for that 77 team.
Yeah, speaking of cut line, Josh Berry, he's only 4 points below, right behind Bubba Walls, who's 4 points above him, then Chase Briscoe plus 25 to the cut line. But then there's other guys like Austin Cindric and Eric Jones who could definitely get a win in this summer stretch. Let's see what can happen.
And then I'm looking on the flip side of that cut line. Look at Bubba Walls, only 4 points up. Such a minuscule points gap between the two of them. He's going to have a great day in these following races to make sure he can advance. And also look just above him, Chase Briscoe, Brad Keselowski, and even Alex Bowman. All not completely safe and still looking for a win.
Yeah, you're right about that. Such a treacherous racetrack. We've seen so many incidents take place in the past. Nobody is safe here at Pocono Raceway. But back down on the grid, it's time to take a look. Who do you guys have your eyes on to win today's race?
Well, my pick is the 7-time most popular driver, and that's none other than the 9 of Chase Elliott. Last year, he started on the front row with Tyler Reddick. He finished in the top 5 last year, and he's currently outside of the top 10 starting here in Pocono. Let's see if he can get another win to his 2025 campaign.
Yeah, I got my eyes on the 2-car of Austin Cindric. He may have not had the best run here last year, unfortunately running out of fuel on the final restart. But coming up in this summer stretch, there's a couple of tracks that he could get his win at. Look out for him.
And I think my pick today has to be the 12 of Ryan Blaney. He was so close last year. He finished 3rd, and he was up there all race long. He's starting inside the top 10 once again here today, and he is looking strong and like a force to be reckoned with.
Absolutely great picks there. Anybody can get a win here at Pocono. We know how crazy it comes down to the end as you see our pit road picks on the screen. The booth pick's going to come up in just a little bit. I've got my eye on Ross Chastain, the winner from a year ago. He's going to try to go back-to-back, but what's it going to take for him to get it done? Let's take a look at our keys to victory for today's race. We talked about how difficult of a racetrack this 2.5-mile triangle is. The first thing you've got to conquer is the restarts. Look at this through turn number 1 back in 2023. 3 and 4 wide racing through turn number 1. Cars getting in the wall, scattering all over this racetrack. It's such a wide surface here at Pocono Raceway. You can go almost anywhere from the wall to the apron. Nowhere is out of bounds unless you're all the way down to the grass just about, or the inside wall. It is dangerous.
Speaking of dangerous, the most dangerous turn in Pocono is the tunnel turn here. Just in turns 2 series, you see the red highlight there. That's called the tunnel turn. The most bumpy part of the racetrack. You can see a lot of spins, crashes in today's race, so look out for that tunnel turn here today.
Speaking of dangerous, one of the most iconic things that makes this Pocono Raceway so majestic is the wrecks that happen here. You see there in 2023, Ross Chastain into the wall. Big hit for the 20 of Christopher Bell in the 77, right into the inside wall. And then last year, this horrendous crash, Austin Dillon up into the catch fence off of turn 1. Just a huge crash there.
And something you truly cannot sleep on is the fuel mileage here at Pocono. Just a couple of years ago, Kyle Busch leading the race. He had a chance to take it home. He had to styline his car. He finished in the back of the field. Same with Michael McDowell, Joey Logano. If you do not fuel your car properly, it can be brutal. Make sure that gas tank is full.
You saw what it's going to take to win, but now let's get to know the racetrack. This is a 2.5-mile triangular racetrack, the only triangle on the NASMAR Community Cup Series season, and it's home to the longest front stretch. Almost 4,000 feet these cars are going to go down, so wide we see fanning out almost 4 or 5 wide, getting ready to head into turn number 1 on these restarts.
Cars will be going 200 miles per hour into this 14-degree bank in the steepest part of the racetrack here. Cars are going to go to 150 miles per hour to maybe 160 as the cars go into Long Pond straightaway.
Now off of 1 onto Long Pond straightaway. Another really long straightaway in the on the NASMAR schedule. Not as long as the front stretch, but off into turn 2 it definitely gives you lost speed.
And then coming out of that long straightaway, you head through the trickiest turn of them all, turn number 2, 8 degrees of banking, but it is still quite steep. You gotta be very careful as you go through the bumpy turn 2.
Off of the most treacherous turn to the shortest straightaway on this racetrack, it's the North Straightaway, also called the Short Chute, and it is less than half of the length of the front stretch, almost 2,000 feet long, and that sets you up for turn 3, the lowest banked corner with 6 degrees, but arguably one of the most important, as it sets you up for the longest front stretch in NASMAR Community Cup Series. It's a difficult corner to get right, but it is one that you need to get right to make your way around this track. That's it for the track description. Let's go trackside for the national anthem. A great national anthem to get us underway, but let's look back through the 4-year history of this race so far at the most memorable moments from the NASMAR Community Cup Series at Pocono, going all the way back 4 years ago to June of 2021, where it all began. A fantastic race was held. Very minimal crashes, but very great racing took place on this day. Many different leaders up at the front. Great battles for the win, as you see here. Coming to the end of stage number 2, Austin Dillon booted Kyle Busch out of the way, but it was Brad Keselowski to take home the first ever victory in NASMAR at Pocono.
The next year in 2022, it was a very close battle between Joey Logano and Alex Bowman. And as you see, Alex Bowman now trying to go into the inside as Joey Logano now cuts him, and Alex Bowman goes spinning into turns 1. It creates the most memorable moment in the 2022 season as the caution comes out, and the villain of NASMAR, Joey Logano, will take the win in the 2022 year.
Now in July of 2023, we got the biggest attendance this race has ever seen. Off into the tunnel turn, Chase Elliott gives the boop to Denny Hamlin. He slides down into William Byron. They both spin out off of 2. The caution comes out, and Chase Elliott will pick up a very memorable win here in Pocono. The fans really like this one. Denny Hamlin getting wrecked. Just a great win for Chase Elliott.
And then just 1 year ago, the most recent event, we had some carnage, some chaos. Austin Dillon, he nearly flipped. Huge damage to the catch fencing, and man, what a final lap it was. The entire field, they went for a snake. Every single driver diving every single which way, and at the end of the race, off turns 3, what a finish. Chastain, Truex, almost spinning across the line, and Ross Chastain will spin and win at Pocono.
Unbelievable moments we've seen so far, but now let's create some new moments. Let's go trackside for the command to fire the engines. Here to give the command, please welcome NR Night in America driver, Xander McKinney.
Drivers, start your engine!
The engines roar to life here at Pocono Raceway for the 5th year in a row. The green flag when we come back.
Trapped inside a dream, could have sworn it used to be our home. Echoes filled the streets, in the crowd feeling all alone. Sat right there, oh so quiet, try to hide it. If a new thought formed, we would swallow it down. Empty stares, never question the illusion. If you play alone, they will leave you to drown. Stand up, 'cause we are the movement. Don't stop, straight into the dark. Wake up, 'cause this is the moment, and every fire starts with a spark. A revolution. Stand up, 'cause we are the movement. Don't stop, straight into the dark. Wake up, 'cause this is the moment, and every fire starts with a spark. A revolution.
5 years ago, it was the creation of something special, unknown at the time just how powerful this race would grow to become. Now, 5 years later, this race has been proclaimed by many as an event. It's NASMAR Community Cup Series racing from Pocono, the 17th race of the 2025 season, and the midway point through the summer stretch. I'm Gavin Pierce, joined in the booth by Carter Dickerson and Milo Lively. Guys, how are we feeling about the 5th edition of this incredible event?
I am expecting chaos. The final year of the Gavin Beers Pocono tradition, and we're here to establish one final winner. These drivers are going to be hungry for a win. Remember, this win will lock you into the 2025 NASMAR Community Cup Series playoffs, so it is ever more important that you establish yourself as a contender today.
Yeah, definitely a very important race. Pocono always delivers every single year, hands down the best race of the NASMAR season, and I expect no less today. This race is going to provide.
It is going to be a great race, as it is every single year. But you mentioned it, Carter. The final year of NASMAR racing from Pocono on this YouTube channel is going to be a great one. 5 years, the longest streak of any race to be held in the NASMAR Community Cup Series. It's an honor to have that one. But now the car's on pit road. The engines are fired. They're getting ready to roll off. You see the Chevrolet Camaro pace car in front of this field of 40 as they get ready to roll off and make their way onto the racetrack. Guys, it's going to be a great race today.
Yes, it will be. Joey Logano starting from pole position today. That's very important here at Pocono. Passes can be tough, especially you don't want to be too wide going into that tunnel turn. So as their guys get spread out, Logano's going to have the advantage along with Kyle Busch on his outside.
Let's take a look at your starting lineup for today's race. Joey Logano on pole. He's going to take the outside line for the initial start. He's got Kyle Busch on his inside. Then back in row 2, you see a pair of Toyotas. And row 3, a pair of Chevrolets.
Row number 4 is going to have John Henry Nemechek and Alex Bowen. Row 5 is Ryan Blaney and Todd Gillen. And then 2023 Pocono winner Chase Elliott along with Chris Buescher, row number 6.
Then in row number 7, you have Tyler Reddick next to Ross Chastain. Row number 8 brings us Kyle Larson next to Ryan Preece. And row number 9 is Ty Gibbs and Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
Row number 10, we have Carson Hocevar in the 77. He was great in practice. He's next to Brad Keselowski, the 2021 winner. Eric Jones, Cole Custer in row 11, with Zane Smith and Austin Dillon in row 12.
And in row 13, you have Daniel Suarez and Shane Van Gisbergen. First start here at Pocono. Row 14 has Chase Briscoe and Austin Hill. And row 15 has Austin Spindrick and Michael McDowell.
Then row 16 has Ty Dillon next to Riley Herbst, Cody Ware next to Kaz Gralla, and Jesse Love next to Noah Gregson, who's starting from the rear.
Then in row number 19, we see Josh Berry and AJ Allmendinger, and behind them is going to be the 44 of Brennan Poole and Bubba Wallace. They all are going to the rear of the field. A couple of them for incidents. Bubba Wallace we'll get to later on, but let's take a look at these practice and qualifying incidents. This is AJ Allmendinger from practice yesterday, getting down into turn 1, gets loose on the bottom, spins out, and backs that car into the wall hard.
Yeah, AJ had a hard crash, but how about Noah Gregson? Spins the car around off the tunnel turn. I talked about that earlier. It's a very treacherous turn. You got to watch coming out of there.
And then Brennan Poole had an engine expire in practice yesterday, and he will be starting from the rear.
Josh Berry in the 21 again through the tunnel turn. This happened in qualifying, trying to get everything he can before getting that alternate start finish line. He spun around in turn number 2. Luckily, no damage to that race car, but he is going to be starting at the rear of the field, which is going to be proven to be a big dividend at the start of this race. The field making their way down pit road, led by Joey Logano, to check that pit speed. You're going to need to make a pit stop during this race, so it is so important for you to be on top of your game there.
Yeah, pit stops and the pits here at Pocono are very key, especially when you consider how hard it is to pass. Especially in this next generation race car, it can be tough on the long run, so green flag pit stops are gonna be critical. Now let's take a look at the stats over the last 5 years of Pocono races. The most pole positions goes manufacturer-wise is gonna go to Ford. Fun fact, Chevrolet has actually never won a pole here at Pocono Raceway, so that is something to watch out for today. They could be on the docket for yet another victory. The most laps led here, though, is actually a Chevrolet driver of Chase Elliott, the number 9 Hendrick Motorsports machine. Then Christopher Bell is in a close second with 11 laps led, and then surprisingly, Kyle Busch in the twilight of his career has 10 laps led here at Pocono in the 8 car. Gonna see if he can get up here today. He's starting second outside pole.
Then most stage points goes to Ryan Blaney, and then Chase Elliott and Chris Buescher. You saw the Chevrolets are out of their game for pole positions, but Chase Elliott with the second most amount of stage wins. And then most wins, too, is Chevrolet and Ford. They're tied, but Chevy out of their game for pole positions, but they have 2 wins here at Pocono. Toyota with no wins here at Pocono.
The drivers making their way to the front stretch, the fans on their feet and cheering. 5-wide salute down this front stretch from these drivers to show their appreciation to NASMAR and to the fans. Take a look at this incredible moment down the front stretch.
One lap to green here at Pocono. Let's send it down to my wife, Gendy, on pit road here at Pocono.
Carson Hocevar was 3rd fastest in practice. Said he had a great handling car so far this weekend, but is starting 21st due to getting loose in his qualifying run yesterday.
Noah Gregson crashed his primary car in practice yesterday in turn number 2 and is currently running the team's backup car. His crew tells you that there could be a possible radio issue in there as Noah Gregson keeps cutting out while talking. The Ford team is hoping this issue can correct itself during the race.
Bubba Wallace has to start at the rear of the field after failing pre-race inspection twice. The 23 car is supposed to start in P16 today, so a big challenge upcoming as he has to make all of those spots.
Now going into your race analysis, 20 lap race here today at Pocono. It's going to be 50 miles. Your stage lengths are 4, 8, and 8.
Then you're going to have a 13 to 14 lap fuel window and turn 2 bumps. Watch those. We saw Noah Gragson get loose and spin out in their worst in 2024.
Field making their way off turn 3 for the final time before they see the green flag. A legacy of a race is going to come to an end after today. Joey Logano, Kyle Busch lead the field to green. We're underway in Pocono. And already we see contact. The 34, Todd Gillen sideways with Chase Elliott. 3 wide scrambling back to turn 3.
Yeah, we saw Todd Gillen make contact with Chase Elliott early. Elliott's going to get away scot-free, but Todd Gillen is out of the draft down the front straightaway. Very important here at Pocono. See the drivers try not to get side drafted down the long front straightaway. Gillen trying to make up the spots.
Usually he would just fall all the way back, but he get a little bit of draft off the 7 of Justin Haley as he goes to the inside of Buescher, who's up out of the groove.
We saw that a year ago with cars getting arrow loose through turn number 1. The 17 of Buescher fell victim to that. Now Ryan Blaney on the inside of him, side by side once again through the tunnel turn. Buescher will prevail on the outside.
Down the short chute, Chris Buescher had a big moment in turn 1, gathering the car back up. Now on the inside of Alex Bowman. This is the battle right now, right in front of Chase Elliott, 2023 winner. Side by side down the front straightaway. No help for Haley, though, as he's going to drop back slowly but surely as you see the car sprawling out down the front straightaway.
Yeah, single file pretty much far throughout this pack. Justin Haley still trying to fight underneath Alex Bowman. They're still going to be side by side off turn 2, headed down Long Pond.
The 7 of Justin Haley trying to hang on that left rear quarter panel of the 48 of Alex Bowman, but he's going to falter going back into the tunnel turn. And Christopher Bell up out of the groove. He tapped the wall right there. It's a big scrape for the 20. Now going off into turn number 3, he's going to get passed by William Byron here. And we got problems.
Sideways goes the 24 in turn 3. He'll take multiple cars into the wall. That's Christopher Bell and Alex Bowman. Heavy damage to the front end of the 48 car, and multiple cars inside the top 5 now have damage. Look at the damage to Christopher Bell's right side.
Early calamity here at Pocono Raceway. Bell's pulling into his pit box along with Justin Haley. Alex Bowman with massive damage to the front end of that 48 machine. Starting in the top 10 does not always mean you avoid the calamity here at Pocono, and that is very true for these drivers right now. Big damage to the 24, William Byron as well. Now let's take a look at a replay, folks. It looks like William Byron clips that grip strip on turns 3 and 4 in the apron and smacks the wall pretty hard, collecting the rest of those guys.
Yeah, and I think what happened here, Christopher Bell got into the wall and William Byron went to the inside, made a move that he was not planning on making. He drove it a little too deep in the corner and I think maybe clipped the apron a little, got into the grass, just spun his car around, and Alex Bowman and Christopher Bell, big crash for both of them. Alex Bowman's day is going to be over and Bell's going to have big damage.
And take a look at that 7 of Justin Haley. Bowman was trying to avoid it, slipped up, but got on the brakes too fast for the 7 to react. The 7 plowed right into the back bumper of him, caused him to spin into the wall. Heavy damage to Justin Haley is going to need Speedy Dry to be put down as well. We're onto the caution for the first time of the day at lap number 3. This will end stage number 1. We'll be back with stage 2 after this break. Back live from Pocono Raceway, stage 1 is in the books after ending under caution from that lap 3 incident in turn number 3. Joey Logano going to come through behind the pace car under caution to win stage number 1. The first stage win for Joey Logano. He started this race first, stayed there the entire time, and the 2022 winner is taking that car from the pole to the victory of stage 1 just 4 laps into this race.
Yeah, not surprised Joey Logano is out front early. Let's go take a look at your stage 1 results. Kyle Busch finishes second, Denny Hamlin third, Chase Elliott, previous winner here, watch him, is in fourth. Todd Gilliland's going to round out your top 5.
A great run for the front row motorsports car of Todd Gilliland. He's going to get stage points and finish 5th, cut-line driver. Yeah, but Joey Logano with that stage win. The one Penske driver just continues their streak of dominance here at this track.
Now taking a look at the choose code for the first time here at Pocono. Joey Logano, no surprise, goes to the outside lane. Denny Hamlin elects to take the inside. Very interesting call by the 11 car. Now, let's head back to my wife on pit road. Gendy, take it away.
The 48 team wanted to get that car back out on track. As they came to pit road, further evaluation tells the crew that there's more damage than they thought. They're going to bring Alex to the garage for further repairs and say a return to the track is very unlikely.
Back into the restart zone they go. Joey Logano, Kyle Busch going to lead him back as stage 2 now gets underway. Even pushes with both of those 2 lines. A little bit of separation back there with third. Contact made in the 17 is going to slide out of line to the inside. No contact with anything, but the caution comes out on the restart.
Early yellow in stage number 2. Contact might have been from the 45 of Tyler Reddick. We'll have to check a replay to confirm that theory. Here we go, right off the restart. Let's take a look at it here. Looks like the 45 goes to the inside, gets him loose, hits him at the corner panel. We know that these corner panels of these next-gen cars are so sensitive, and that spun the 17 around.
Yeah, he drove to the inside for a move and I think just misjudged it, had too big of a run, and Chris Buescher with the brunt of the effect, he's going to go to the back here, but he kept it out of that wall on the inside, so he should be good, put fresh tires on it, and get back out there.
It's lucky there was no more drivers involved. We see a little bit of contact with the 34 of Todd Gilliland as well in the left rear tire is where that 17 made contact. He's going to get pushed back to pit road. He got spun out on lap 6, so early chaos here at Pocono. We'll be back with the restart after this break.
The Pocono Cup Series playoffs on MMCS.
Coming back to the choose, Joey Logano, your leader, he elects the top, no surprise there. Kyle Busch and Chase Elliott, a pair of Chevys to the bottom, and the rest sorted out.
Now, folks, if you want to hear this commentary trio more often, then check out the Pocono Cup Series on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. We're getting ready to start the playoffs, so we'll be there every single week. Check us out on the MMCS channel.
Back into the restart zone they go. Once again, the same 2 on the front row going to lead them back to green. Lap number 9 underway, and they're going to rock it down into turn 1 once again. Still 2 by 2. Now Chase Elliott pokes out. He's going to go 3 wide for the lead on the inside.
3 wide move from the 9 car. They're 3 wide heading down Long Pond straight away. Who's going to lift first heading in to the tunnel turn? We know how treacherous this corner. Will they take it 3 wide? Yes, they will. The 9 car will prevail down the short chute.
And what a move from Chase Elliott to take the lead, and he heads off into the corner, and he wants to see those 2 cars side drafting behind him. He's going out with the lead.
The crowd on their feet as the fan favorite driver takes the lead. On to lap number 10 they go. A couple of battles behind. This is Tyler Reddick, Todd Gilliland battling inside the top 10 for position. Great run by both of these guys heading back to turn 1.
Yeah, but you definitely got to watch Ryan Blaney right there. He's led some laps here at Pocono. You definitely got to watch him as he pulls up on this battle. Denny Hamlin now under Kyle Busch of the A car heading into the tunnel turn.
And Going into the tunnel turn there, the 34 just got a big push from Ryan Blaney, and that just helped him get clear of Tyler Reddick, as Denny Hamlin's now making a move on Kyle Busch to the inside.
Denny Hamlin gonna surge out in front, take third away from Kyle Busch. He now occupies that spot. Here is still side-by-side battling back for 6th. Ryan Blaney gives another shove to the 34 of Todd Gilliland. They're still going to be side-by-side with the 45 car back entering turn number 1. Gilliland on the outside, Reddick down low. These two can't shake each other.
Yeah, Reddick and Gilliland constantly battling here. That's only losing them time to the leaders as you see Ross Chastain. Here comes Carson Hocevar to the inside on Ross Chastain. Probably the two most aggressive drivers in NASMAR are going at it here down the short chute.
He's trying to use that side draft going into the corner, and they're just dead even here. Carson Hocevar barely makes that move work. I got nervous for a minute.
On to the final lap of stage number 2. Chase Elliott out in front by 2 car lengths over Joey Logano and Denny Hamlin. Do these two have anything for each other? Denny Hamlin wants to gain another spot to improve his playoff position, but it's not looking likely. Off turn number 1, it's all Elliott back to turn 2.
Chase Elliott out in front of the 22 of Joey Logano, and there's no pressure out back. The only thing Logano should be worrying about right now is defending off Denny Hamlin on the 11 down the short chute into turn 3 for the final time in stage number 2.
Chase Elliott, the 2023 winner of this race, has got a 3 car length gap back to Joey Logano. He's going to see the green and white checkered flag. Elliott wins stage 2 in Pocono. Joey Logano, the pole sitter, coming in behind him in 2nd. Denny Hamlin in 3rd. Kyle Busch, great points for both of these drivers. Elliott is the stage 2 winner. We'll be back to see the full results after this break. Back live from Pocono Raceway, the all-new paddock beginning to fill up as we are approaching the midway point through this race. Stage 2 was just completed. Here's the results.
Taking a look at the stage 2 results, Chase Elliott, fan favorite, wins it here at Pocono. Joey Logano comes in a close 2nd, Denny Hamlin 3rd, Kyle Busch 4th, and then Tyler Reddick finally shrugged off Todd Gilliland to finish 5th.
Ryan Blaney charging his way up. He's up to 6th, and he got that in the stage. And then 2 underdogs. Todd Gilliland continues his run today in this race. He's going to get 7th in the stage, and Carson Hocevar entered the top 10. Watch out for him. 8th in the stage for the 77.
Yeah, great run there for those guys. Stage 2 completed, getting ready to start the final stage. Chase Elliott going to lead the field down to pit road, Gendy.
Chase Elliott enters the pits from the lead after winning stage 2. Says he is very happy with the car and so no adjustments are needed. 4 tires and fuel for the 9 car.
Ryan Blaney just finished 6th in the 2nd stage and is in for service. A wedge adjustment is given to tighten up the 12 car and a 2-tire gamble on pit road to gain some track position for the final stage.
The pole sitter Joey Logano has been up front all day long and says that his car got very loose at the end of that last run. 4 tires, fuel, and a wedge adjustment is all for the 22 car as he pulls away.
Joey Logano going to win the race off pit road, taking 4 tires. But how about Ryan Blaney, Carson Hocevar? They both gained 4 and 5 spots each, only taking 2 tires on this restart.
Yeah, you see Chris Buescher, the only car, the lone car, staying out behind the pace car. Very interesting strategy call. He will restart first, but he's going to be on old tires. Clean air's good here at Pocono, but I don't know how strong it's truly going to be.
He should be okay on fuel. I'm assuming he pitted when he had that incident with the tires down. That's an interesting, risky strategy for Chris Buescher, being on old tires. He's going to get swept up, I think, by all the good contenders behind him.
And how about this? A penalty for Chase Elliott, too fast exiting pit road. So a big issue there as he was trying to battle Kyle Busch. He was too fast exiting, and that is a huge mistake for the 9 car late in this race.
And Riley Hurst with a penalty. A man over the wall too soon. No surprise there. The 2311 crew selling for Riley Hurst as we come back to the choose cone.
Taking a look at the choose, Chris Buescher is going to take the outside. No surprise there. Outside the dominant lane, you see Chase Elliott stopping right before the choose cone. Going to let everybody go by to concede all those positions. Carson Hocevar is going to be on the outside behind Buescher. Watch that on the restart.
Beers Racing Association Cup Series is on the horizon, kicking off the season right here in Pocono. Stay tuned on this channel for signups and info, all coming soon. Working their way behind the pace cars, they make their way through turn 3 before they see the green to begin the final stage. Chris Buescher assumes the lead after staying out for the restart. Logano, the pole sitter, gonna start next to it. Back up through the gears they go. In the final stage, 17 loose off the bumper of the 77. Logano with help from his teammate, and they both hit down the front stretch. The 17 with big damage. That's gonna allow Blaney and Hocevar to go to lead into turn 1.
Heading through turn number 1, Carson Hocevar is going to slide into second. Definitely watch that 77 machine. Kyle Busch side by side with Joey Logano. But here comes Ross Chastain. Chris Buescher slipping back as well.
Buescher just got swept up on that restart. Hocevar did not give him the push he needed, and those Penske teammates were lined up. Kyle Busch now on the inside for second. He's pouncing on Carson Hocevar. Entering the corner, he's going to make that move to the inside. Is that dive going to work? On the straight, he's going to be stuck on the inside.
Hocevar and Blaney on those 2 tire pit stops. They've made the best of it with that track position, got them in the top 2 right now. But Joey Logano with contact from that restart, one of the dominant cars of the day, falling back to 4th position as Hocevar and Busch still battle side by side off the corner.
Kyle Busch trying to side draft, get a quarter panel on the 77 to try to draw alongside him through the tunnel turn. Now the 8's going to do just that, and that's allowing Ryan Blaney to skip away to a 2-car length lead.
It's not over yet though. Kyle Busch to the inside of Carson Hocevar. Is he going to make that move work? He does. Not even close. Kyle Busch to second.
Big moves there. The 17 of Chris Buescher may have scraped the wall as you see a couple cars side by side, 2 rows deep. Further back in this field, this is just outside the top 10. That's Todd Gillen having a great run in that 34 car. He's side by side with Denny Hamlin. And how about Kyle Larson and Shane Van Gisbergen entering the picture as well?
Yeah, Shane Van Gisbergen's definitely a surprise top front runner here at Pocono so far, but the rookie is showing what he's got. Todd Gilliland still holding tough on that bottom lane, entering the tunnel turn now, trying to clear Denny Hamlin. He will. Now, can he set his sights on Tyler Reddick? But now here comes Kyle Larson on a vulnerable Denny Hamlin, who's now losing multiple positions in the 11 car.
Now off through turn 3, that's where all the moves have been made today. He's going to pass Denny Hamlin and Chris Buescher right here. He's chasing down the 1 of Ross Chastain back in about 4th or 5th position.
Gendy.
After that contact on the restart, Chris Buescher radioed to his team saying that he feels the tire is going flat. The 17 car is in desperate need of a caution at this point, as he's going to be very close on fuel as well.
And that is not good for the 17. I thought he was just having a decent run in 4th or 5th, but a tire going down is not what you wanted to see. Let's see if he can hug it out for a couple more laps in this race.
As the cars come off turn 3 here at Pocono, golden hour begins to shine down on this beautiful raceway one last time here at Pocono.
Still battling side by side. That's Kyle Busch, Carson Hocevar. These two just can't get rid of each other. This battling all allow Ryan Blaney to pull away with the lead down Long Pond. Still the gap staying at 2 or 3 car lengths as they try to hound him down with under 3 laps to go. Coming into the tunnel turn, Hocevar trying to get a run. He got a little bit of momentum coming through turn 2. Can he carry it all the way back with him to turn number 3 now? And into the wall, the 17. That's Chris Buescher. That right front tire went flat. Slow up against the outside wall. Now he's going to get down to the apron. Going to see if that will bring out a caution. So far, still green as you see the smoke billowing out of that right front tire with Chris Buescher. And off comes the tire carcass. In the middle of the grass it goes. Will it bring out a caution? Still green so far with 2 laps of racing to go.
Ryan Blaney snaking down the front straightaway, trying to break the draft and put as much of a gap between him and Carson Hocevar in the 77. We know Carson's going to be very aggressive. This is a playoff spot to the inside. Here it comes down Long Pond.
What a move for the 77 to Carson Hocevar. He's trying to get his first win for his young career, side by side for the race lead with Ryan Blaney heading off into turn 3. The inside's been the preferred lane here in turn 3. Is he going to clear Ryan Blaney off the corner? No, he won't. The run's going to come for the 12, coming to the white flag one more time around.
1 lap to go as they head down through the sunset. 3 wide for the lead heading into turn 1. Busch puts the nose on the outside for the lead, but he's going to back out of it before turn 1. Blaney and Hocevar side by side. The 77 gets loose off the corner in turn 1.
He's now going to have to duck back in line. Kyle Busch behind him. It's all Ryan Blaney out front through the tunnel turn for the final time here at Pocono.
Into the final corner, Blaney out front by a car length. Hocevar shoved by the 8 of Kyle Busch. That'll seal the deal. Ryan Blaney is a winner in Pocono.
Good job, man. Hell yeah, boys. Let's go. Good job, driver. Good job, team. Proud of you guys.
And a crash in turn 3. Ross Chastain up against the wall, turned around backwards.
Yeah, guys, Joey Logano was frustrated with Ross over the radio as it appears the two had a moment together in turn number 1 in the final lap. Still awaiting a replay for confirmation.
Ryan Blaney becoming the 5th winner in NASMAR Pocono history. Another win for the Fords. This is how he did it. Milo, what do you see from this replay?
Carson Hocevar trying to do everything he could coming into the final corner, but he got the bumper given to him by the 8 of Kyle Busch for 2nd spot, and that sealed the deal for Ryan Blaney to take the win here.
You see, Carson Hocevar was racing Blaney very tough down the front straightaway. Then they were 3 abreast here down the front straightaway heading into turn 1. But what was the most surprising thing to me, Carson Hocevar raced Blaney clean the whole way through, just got loose on the bottom, has to save that race car. Look how sideways he gets, and that was all clear for Ryan Blaney after that.
And you have to wonder if he was not able to get sideways, what he could have done. They would have been side by side, the preferred lane given to Carson Hocevar. So that is just unbelievable how he just got loose off turn 1. One tiny mistake was all it was. But here's a look at that bump from Kyle Busch straight into the back bumper. Sent Hocevar up the racetrack. He almost got into the wall, and that sealed the deal for Ryan Blaney to get the win. Back onto the front stretch, Ryan Blaney getting ready to do some donuts. He's at the end of the front stretch, turning it around. Going to do a little Polish victory lap in front of the fans here. Blaney burning it down in front of the fans. They love it, cheering on their feet for the 5th winner in the NASMAR Community Cup Series at Pocono. It was an unbelievable finish. Blaney going to get out and take that checkered flag, but it was not easy for him to get there. Let's take a look at some of the things that happened in the closing laps to start. The 17 of Chris Buescher blowing that tire. We saw the carcass of the tire come off. Did not bring out a caution.
Yeah, Chris Buescher smacked the outside wall. That could have changed everything, but luckily it did not, and we were treated to absolute cinema down the front straightaway. Chris Buescher, though, this will affect him in the points dramatically as he tries to make the 2025 NASMAR Community Cup Series playoffs.
You said it about right. This race could have changed so differently if that caution had come out. But let's see what happened to Ross Chastain. You saw he wrecked, and oh, that's what happened. He got the bump given to him by Joey Logano in the final corner. I wonder if there's some history behind that one.
Yeah, those two did get together on the exit of turn 1 on that final lap to cause that last lap and last handful of laps really shook up the finishing results for this race. Let's take a look at them. Obviously, Ryan Blaney getting the win. Carson Hocevar and Kyle Busch involved in that unbelievable battle with him and that closing laps. And Joey Logano, the pole sitter, comes home in 4th.
Todd Gilliland in the number 34 gets a top 5. Good run for the 34 machine. Tyler Reddick, Denny Hamlin, Shane Van Gisbergen, the rookie, Kyle Larson, and then Brad Keselowski round out your top 10 here at Pocono.
On to the rest of your finishing results. Chase Elliott with the 23rd place finish after that penalty he got on pit road. A day could have been so much better for the 9 of Chase Elliott, but a pit road penalty relegated him to 23rd.
Yeah, Chris Buescher going to come home 36 as well after that 3 lap to go incident where he got up into the wall. That'll put him a lap down. That's why you see Ross Chastain, Christopher Bell, Justin Haley, and Alex Bowman not finishing this race. That will impact them in points as we take a look at the playoff standings after this race. Denny Hamlin still holds the point lead with 3 wins. Ryan Blaney moves up to 4th in the standings right now. And look at this cut line battle. 9 points separates Bubba Wallace and Josh Berry. 2 drivers that started at the rear of the field for today's race is going to lead them battling throughout the rest of the regular season. Guys, we saw an unbelievable race here today, relatively calm. What are your final thoughts about today's race?
It was a great race here today. Ryan Blaney scoring the victory. But for the final race made by Gavin Beers of NASMAR Pocono, it surely delivered.
Gavin, I want to thank you for allowing me to commentate Pocono history. This truly was one hell of a race to conclude 5 full years of stop motion action here at Pocono. What a race, folks. I'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys, for joining me in the booth today. Again, that was Carter Dickerson and Milo Lively. Also want to thank Gendy, Blake, and Fathom on pit road, along with Kobe, MLCS, and ECS on the Pocono Party. I'm Gavin Beers, concluding the famed 5-year stretch of NASMAR racing from the Tricky Triangle. It's been an honor to host this event year after year on this channel, and I'd like to wish the next creators of this race the best of luck to continue its legacy. Off into the sunset we go from the Pocono Mountains. Have a good one, and we'll see you next time.